The Nimble with Numbers team presents Chalked Blocked with Bo Big Time McBrayer.
I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
That's hot. That's hot.
I want winners, folks. You don't know diddly.
And his partner, Scott Stag Simpson.
Do you know who I am?
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move. Let's make a move. Let's make a move.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Chalk Blocked, the world's sexiest DFS show. For now, I'm Bo McBrayer, joined as always by the infamous, the notorious Scott Simpson, Nimble himself. This is a Nimble DFS production. If you haven't already, check out our YouTube and smash the subscribe button. While you're there, might as well give that bell a jingle. I like that. It tickles a bit. We have a special guest. He's not really a guest. He was a former full-time staple of the show. We brought him back. I'm a little confused at his antics tonight. He looks like if the little person on the stick horse from Happy Gilmore had meandered his way into the bad thoughts that Happy Gilmore had when Shooter McGavin ran him over with the Volkswagen. He is done with his plantation, his saving the baby sea turtles in the Everglades. Jordan Vanek. How do you do, Jordan?
I'm doing good. I have Cam Newton as my quarterback, so it feels like, it was a good time to return because I'm back. And
takes you back to elementary school, doesn't it?
Oh man, no, I'm so happy Cam Newton's back, man. It's been a rough
you think he's
year.
a little bit better than PJ Walker or he who shall not be named?
Hey man, somehow Joe Brady he was 1 week away. If we would have somehow beat you guys and Sam Darnold didn't throw 3 picks and all that nonsense, I would have been bought back in. But without Joe Brady, you're this close, man. And also Joe Brady was this close to getting a head coaching job. Now Kellen Moore, he's going to be gone. So
long gone.
He should. I mean, I'm surprised people haven't mentioned him as much yet, and I'm like, I don't get it. This man is just playing fiddle with teams.
You shut your mouth. You shut your whore mouth, Jordan Vanek. That's enough out of Jordan. Scott, how are you doing tonight?
When I saw Jordan pop in to the DMs and saying that he could come on the show, I was
he didn't pop in. He slid in like Trey Turner at home plate.
Yeah, I mean, he's still home. I was just so excited because I'm tired of propping up the show for you each week, Bo. So I was like, no, I'm kidding.
I'll have what he's having.
Yeah, exactly. Here's what I've been having actually. I haven't had any booze for a long time. Sober October, moved into No Nut November, and busted my
and he busted it. Now he's got bourbon.
Yeah. So now I got bourbon. This is from a Maryland distillery here. It's called Maryland Whiskey Company. It's a single cask bourbon. And I just popped my cherry. And
is this a cry for help, Scott? Because I'm not here for you. Because I drink bourbon almost every night. Cheers to you.
Thank you.
Slancha, Prost.
I don't even have a drink. It's okay.
That's okay. I'm drinking as much as I can right now because my Ducks are getting blown off the field in what amounts to their whole season on the line, and they decided to lay in the worst performance of the year. So yeah, I'm drinking. I actually started with a nice high noon sun sip. Shout out Dave Mendelson, and I moved on to barrel bourbon cast strength batch 29, which is 115.88 proof. It's delicious. It has the aroma of Christmas time. Just Christmas time.
That's what my bourbon tastes like. I'm not gonna lie. This tastes just like Christmas, which I love. Speaking of Christmas, $25,000. I love that. That's up there in your win total here, Jordan Vanek. This is
he blew it all on that hat.
He did. This is Jordan Vanek's Twitter, Jordan Vanek DFS. If you're not following him, please give him a follow. So since we last talked, some things have happened. You're no longer moving money around for guys in the apartment. Which is good.
They were high-class condos, by the way. Get it right.
Well, listen, I'm saying this in case anybody is listening. Yeah. Anyway, now you're moving.
I don't know what you're talking about, Scott.
Anyway, now you're moving money around for 4 for $4 and Awesemo. himself. Congratulations. I got to say that. You're the man.
Hey, appreciate it.
Well done.
He's there because we really don't want to see what happens when Alex Baker actually watches film.
Oh no! I mean, Alex, dude, did you see his win on Thursday?
Yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah,
man, just won 290K. It's disgusting.
Yeah. He won 4K just in the tournament that I was in with him, where he basically played. I think he left like 2,000 or 3,000 on the table so he could captain the defense captain the defense, play the kicker, and then he played like 3 scrub receivers, and they were the only guys that scored points in the whole game.
Played someone's mom. Yeah, someone's mom.
He played Aguilar, Folk, and the Patriots defense, and then three people. Yeah. And it was just like, 97 points won all that money.
Oh yeah, no, he was pounding out all show and all stream that week. It was that day it was really funny. I mean, there's a sub over there that's won like 400K in the last like 2 weeks. Disgusting money, and he's a sub. He's not like someone who researches, and they're like, oh, he stole his lineups this weekend. that guy let Alex win this week, but. No, it's been a fun time working with them. Some great minds, some great people, and they've shown me a thing or two.
Yeah. I mean, they know a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Those are personal heroes of mine. And
hey, you guys have a personal hero, Mr. Justin Freeman, right here. Run the Sims. That guy is a freaking stud.
Love Mr. Freeman. He is the man. We're honored to be able to feature his product here on our show every week. I mean, Justin is just amazing. I do have to say, Jordan, on Friday. After Thanksgiving, Black Friday itself, your boy is going to be jumping on with Dave Lofgren, who I love, and Alex Baker, for On the Contrary, which I'm very excited about to be able to jump on there. I'll definitely shout you out because they were talking about Jordan is the Jordan behind the camera. They were talking about the producer. This is the real Jordan right here. No offense, Jordan Klein. I love you too. But Jordan Vanek is the man. And
I was confused at first. I was like, I don't think Jordan's a very good producer. So I don't know who they're talking about.
No. Jordan Klein's a freaking stud. I love that guy.
I was like, Jordan Vanek's producing already? That's a bad look for us.
Well, I mean, the last couple of weeks, I've seen Lofgren just forget and flub the beginning and then him just go, all right, just keep it going. Start it again. I'm just like, man, I wish I was Dave Lofgren. That guy's the man. I love that guy.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. One of the best hosts in the industry. His voice is so funny. There's actually a guy in the chat that comes in all the time, and he's like, Dave, your voice sounds like cat nails going through a chalkboard. And then he's like, Jordan, you make it soothing. We need more of your voice. And I'm like, what? I'm like, sir?
Dave's great with the contrarian questions and the things where he leads people to what he wants to ask anyway. So I'm stealing everything.
He's one of my favorites, though. I like that personality. I'm kind of that character on this show.
Some of those times we get off topic and we talk about like ASMR videos with the nails, and he's like, you can make some good money doing that, Jordan. I'm like, sir, let's talk about the first look. I'm scared.
Yeah, there's people making money just videotaping themselves chewing, which is amazing.
Yeah. Sign me up for that. My wife would murder me.
I'm a natural.
If I eat cereal,
I'm like George Costanza's a hand model. I'm just one of the greatest ever.
Well, yeah, I'm an international calf model, so you don't fuck with me either. So we're blocking Jordan here. I'm sorry, Jordan. Greg said, just done with Ghostbusters, Afterlife, and now Vanek on Chalk Block. What an end to my night.
Who says it's got to end right now, Craig? Come on.
Come on. Keep it going, dude. We're drinking.
Party on, Garth.
Yeah, come on.
Keep busting those ghosts, dude.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have Jordan on and to get his acumen, as we like to say it in the biz, to break down this slate. We are on the slate walk here, where we do every week.
I'm a model, you know what I mean, and we'll take a little turn on the slate walk.
Every single week, we break down using Run the Sims, speaking of Justin Freeman, his baby here, and we take a look at each of the games. We build stacks that we like. So, Jordan, you're going to have kind of free range of this. We can jump around. I'm the producer, but you can tell us. We're going to go game by game, but within that game position, you are focusing on stacks you want to build. We're going to do it all here with the tool. So let's jump into the first game right away. That is New Orleans. Bo is not biased at all. But there is some value in this game. Is there anybody that you're playing maybe over the field in this game, Jordan?
I I mean, again, I've called Jalen Hurts multiple times the best deep ball passer in the NFL, or defensive pass interference ball or passer in the NFL. But no, this game without Tyron Armstead, they promoted Tony Jones, and like you saw Mark Ingram early in the game before Ty Montgomery got hurt, he wasn't getting any of the passing game work. So, like, again, these running backs are a nightmare. Miles Sanders does return. I'm only going to the defensive side of the ball if I go to anything, and I prefer this Philly defense because of the fact that the Saints are missing some of their edge defenders, and their offense just doesn't scare me.
No, yeah. Trevor Siemian scares me at what he's capable of doing in the turnover department.
Yeah. Again, this game is just defense for me. I like with Jalen Hurts, like if they get a big lead, that hurts him. Like he's not. I want him when they're getting blown out because that's the only time this man seems to do any fantasy.
It's not like they're going to run the ball anyway. Now that Sanders is back.
That's true.
Yeah, and the Mark Ingram love, which I understand even here on the models. I mean, he stands out compared to the other backs. But we'll just put it this way: for around the same price, you could have David Montgomery, who's up against. I think the Ravens are the 23rd worst in or best, if you want to look at it that way, in not tackling people. And so, not good for David Montgomery. He's really good at hitting people and continuing to go forward in a game that is, a better game, I think, for points. So I'm not going to be going down really to Mark Ingram when. Like you said before, I saw that injury, and you could see Montgomery go out. His finger was all effed up, and
it was sideways.
Yeah, it was fucking terrible.
And it was his fault because he went and put his hands too far apart, and the pass went right through the one hand. You're like, really, dude? I thought you were a good pass catcher. That went right through your finger and took the finger with it.
That was a Trevor Siemian. I mean, well, listen, I'm going from
that was all running back's fault. If the ball hits your hands and bends your finger the wrong direction, should have fucking caught it.
He was like, "Oh, Drew Brees would never do me like that, man."
No, because he can't throw it that hard.
No, he couldn't. No, I mean, Jameis Winston could do you like that, though, for sure. So yeah, you should have had his head on a swivel. Now, I like the defensive call in this game. I'm kind of
have 4 running backs cheaper than Mark Ingram projected for more points this week. Yeah. So yeah, I'll pass.
I'm building no stacks. Next game, we'll jump over here. I will build some stacks with this game. I like this game, particularly on the Buffalo side, but I want to hear where you're leaning, Jordan and Bo as well. Let's start with Jordan. Who are you favoring here in the Indy-Buffalo matchup? -7 for Buffalo.
So Buffalo doesn't have Spencer Brown. He's out with COVID protocol, and Kwity Paye has actually looked like a premier pass rusher. I know Josh Allen is in a fantastic matchup. At the 8,100 price tag, I will be going a little lower. Stacking this game is still viable because Josh Allen can run, but like again, without Spencer Brown, we saw those weeks of Josh Allen like running for his life. But
the Jags game.
Yeah. I mean, he was just running for his life in multiple games. I think still you can stack with Diggs, Knox. The receivers for Buffalo are still viable. I just don't have too much love to Josh Allen specifically. And then on the Indy side of things, Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor are the only two that I have any interest in. But again, they're playing Buffalo and pretty high priced.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Bo. You don't seem you're too far away from where Jordan's at. What do you think about this?
Well, Rosie thinks that we're going to double stack the Bills and leave the Colts side of the ball alone because I think this is going to be a blowout. This is the kind of defense that can give Carson Wentz the ultimate fits where, those 2 or 3 really puzzling, stupid plays that he makes, no matter who he's playing, he's going to make like 6 or 7 of those plays against this Buffalo defense. So I'm not even touching JT this week. As great as he's been, this is death defense for pretty much all the skill positions, and they force a lot of turnovers. Carson Wentz is not going to have a good day. So I think I'll go onslaught Bills. If anything, I might do a little Josh Allen naked, just a sprinkle or 2. But yeah, this isn't the most appealing game because I think that the Colts won't offer much resistance and they won't be able to keep up with Buffalo.
Yeah. What do you think about the total? 40? I mean, that's 49. That's so high. That's almost 50. You think Buffalo just destroys them, or you think they kind of stay in it? Because somebody's got to score points in this matchup. If it's going to be 50, it can't just be 48 points from the Buffalo side. I mean, can it? I mean, what's going to happen? So Buffalo's defense scores. Okay, so there's a touchdown from them. But I'm just saying on the other side, is Indy score 14? To score 18?
I mean, I think Jonathan Taylor can still find the end zone. He's a running back that if you don't fulfill one assignment, he's gonna take advantage of it. Again, he's a high price tag. I think Nyheim Hines can break off a big run. Like there are ways for this Colts team to do it. I'm just not really buying into it as much compared to some of the other games in the slate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking for like the path of least resistance, but there's other players and other matchups. We'll talk about the next game, Tennessee's matchup with Houston, who I think the total is low because the offenses aren't great, but the defenses aren't great either. So actually, the offenses are pretty good. Tennessee's offense is pretty good. Well, it was pretty good. Maybe it's not pretty good anymore. We don't know.
Yeah,
Devonta Foreman is the same. He's not. But let me ask you one question. What do you think about Dawson Knox? 4K, only had one target, 17 yards, not really used. Do you think there's going to be more Dawson Knox this week, Bo, or no?
Well, I was expecting more Dawson Knox last week, but the Jets went cover 0 so much and ran blitz packages all day at Josh Allen, putting Stephon Diggs on an island, and we saw how that worked with his 33 fantasy points. What it comes down to is the Colts are much more conservative on defense because they don't have enough skill especially in the secondary, to run a lot of man-to-man. So they're going to run a lot of zone, mostly cover 2, Tampa 2. That's still going to favor Diggs' route running, especially in those zone pockets, the deep corner, behind the corner, in front of the safety. Cole Beasley's back in play, but I think this is the most favorable for Dawson Knox because he's a cover 2 killer. We saw that before he broke his finger, he just lights up cover 2 by getting behind the linebackers and just settling down. Or just running past Daniel Sorensen a couple times. It's just basically this is the more suitable matchup for Knox, assuming they're going to run the same Tampa 2 they've run all season because their corners are banged up and their safeties aren't any good.
Yeah, and I would say that what I like about this matchup is if let's say you saw it in the game with Sorensen and the Kansas City Chiefs, if Josh Allen does get flushed out of the pocket, Dawson Knox is a big, fast man. And so he can be lost in the shuffle a little bit, get behind the safeties, and he's only 1.1% projected, rostership or ownership. That's pretty nice. I like that differentiation, particularly if you're going to be stacking Josh Allen in anything you're doing.
Knox is my double stack with Diggs. So that would be, if I'm doing a Bills stack, it would be with Diggs and Knox.
Okay, I like it. All right, let's jump to the next game, which actually I do like this game. I like a little run back stack in this game. So we'll talk about that. But Jordan, what are you kind of looking at this game? I'm projecting the over of 45. I think it hits more like 48, maybe 49. What do you think in this matchup?
I really like, obviously, the Tennessee side of things. Tannehill has been someone I've flirted with in GPPs, but it's like he's got to throw 4 touchdowns.
Or he's got to run in a couple because he's second in the NFL in rushing touchdowns by quarterbacks.
Yeah, like he has a chance to do some read option plays. We saw Sam Darnold do it against the Texans early in the year. Stacking this game, I think it's very straightforward from Tennessee side, and then it's very straightforward from the opposite side. Brandon Cooks gets a ton of targets. Tennessee's corners are just bad. I know Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod could have had at least 4 touchdowns against the Dolphins in their matchup, but just missed Danny Amendola running wide open multiple times. Tennessee Titans are a little bit better of a defense, but I think the Cooks is where I lean. Nico Collins is a little interesting, but again, I'm not really certain I'm going that cheap at compared to some of the other guys in the slate, which we'll get to.
Yeah, I like that call. And I mean, Brandon Cooks is seen this year 11, 13, 14, and 14 targets in 4 different games. 3 of those with Tyrod Taylor. That to me screams that there is an imbalance in the offense, and so I like that. I want that funnel to be going.
He's the only good player on the team.
Right? Maybe he only gets 8 to 10 targets and not the 12 to whatever it is. But still 10 targets, I'll take that. That in that offense where there is some garbage time potential too, where you're losing, you're getting your ass kicked, and you're like, hey, Brandon Cooks gets a late touchdown. Cha-ching, I'll take it.
That's kind of why I'm on Foreman this week. I don't really think he's going to be overly efficient. We didn't see much out of him in the way of burst. He has just a tiny bit more burst than Adrian Peterson, who's a million years old, and McNichols is out for this game. So Foreman, just the sheer volume that he's going to see, especially in the passing game, because he's a capable receiver. It's not the same receiver McNichols is, but he's going to have to step into that role. and this team is not going to have enough wide receiver talent other than AJ Brown to keep moving the chains without somebody to move him in the mid range or the short range. So I think Dante Foreman's going to have a lot of volume, and if he finds the end zone, we're looking at 4,900 being one of the best points per dollar on the slate.
No, I agree. I'm not going to be too heavy on Foreman. Right now he's projected his rostership is around 10%, which I understand. I mean, he's one of the cheap pay down options, better than Mark Ingram, right? You're saving yourself $500 there. I think that's one of the players we talked about too. Jordan, what do you think about Foreman? Are you fading him over under the kind of the field on this one?
I think I'll be under the field. I don't know if I'm going to be completely fading him, but again, I'm just worried. I mean, we mentioned Tannehill does keep it. We mentioned Adrian Peterson Adrian Peterson still gets goal line or red zone touches. Foreman is a guy that can definitely make some plays and do some things, but I'm just really not sure I go down to this level. I think there's another 5,200 running back that I prefer over him in the San Fran backfield.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of the way that they're blocking.
I think he's 5,100 actually. So you even
51 and 25% rostered.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll get there.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So let's talk. Yeah, we will see. Last week's projections way off, by the way. Tom Brady, they had him under 10% or under 12. He was like 1,000,000%. It was crazy. Okay, let's talk about the next game, which is not going to be heavily bet, which I think is good. It's good. It kind of gives you an opening in this matchup. Joe Flacco on his back.
Elite.
I know Lindsay OK is just jumping for joy here in the Maryland area. Shout out Lindsay.
About once or twice a year, she gets really excited that the handsomest quarterback in the league, Joe Flacco, is playing.
Jimmy G plays for the 49ers, sir. All right.
I think Flacco's better.
Better or better looking?
Both.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I have a quick question from Craig, and I don't want to steer the show completely away from this amazing matchup here. Craig wants to know, feel free to answer this later. No, we're doing it right now, Craig. Not in another segment, right this second. I will let Jordan know that you have a crush on him. But anyway, he wants to know, you don't do cash, but if there is a player that you're like, this is the motherfucking nuts in cash, who is that guy if you were to do cash?
I'm gonna make Bo get a little tickle here. It's obviously Michael Gallup. Clear cut, like 4,500 receiver who literally,
42.
42. Sorry, numbers are hard for me right now. But with Gallup, I asked someone this question the other day, like, who do you think's more talented, Cortland Sutton or Michael Gallup? And
Gallup.
To be honest, they had a difficulty answer. Like, they're both that type of talent at receiver. Now he's clear cut number 2 role. He got 5 targets last week and only 54% routes run. Kansas City Chiefs, like, I understand
more targets than Cooper, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, I really think that Michael Gallup is just 4,500 in cash is just an easy play. Like, they're supposed to be losing. I know the Cowboys will probably go in with the game plan that they had against the Chargers, but the Chiefs aren't the Chargers on run defense. Melvin Ingram put Chris Jones back inside, and with that, it's just they're in the same tier to me. I mean, Tim Patrick getting paid kind of tells me a little bit of all I need to know about Sutton.
Yep.
Yeah. I would say I'm not against Cortland Sutton, but Michael Gallup is a freaking ninja. The stuff he does on the sidelines with his toes, that man can straddle a sideline. And that's what you need to do with an outside receiver who likes to go deep. You need to be able to get those toes in. So I love him on his
I can verify as a Michael Gallup's toes OnlyFans subscriber that it is spectacular content.
It's ridiculous. And this is as a Washington football team growing up. So I have an animus built in for the Cowgirls, what we used to call them. Back in the day, we would say that.
How original.
Oh, I know. I wouldn't. They would say, they would project that hate onto me. I don't love anybody more than I love fantasy football, so I'm not a fan of anything. But I'll say, I have Michael Gallup everywhere. So that's all you should know. He's probably going to get hurt on the.
I'm a little offended that Craig didn't ask me the cash game question, but it's okay.
No, he said he knows that Jordan doesn't. But he asked if
he said each and any of us.
Each and any of you, right? He wanted to know. I like that play a lot. Yeah.
I said I don't like cash, but it's okay. I mean, I'm not a cash guy.
Right. I mean, Rashad Bateman at 4,500 is good too. I like that.
If Lamar plays.
Right. Right. Yeah. Nice. Just always it's silver lining.
We're going to talk about the Jets and the Dolphins today.
It's this exciting matchup here. I know you want to bust a nut over Myles Gaskin, Bo. Take it away, Bo. Talk about your Gaskin being blown here. Go ahead.
It's just a 1 week fling. I mean, I really hate the guy. He's a terrible player. He has no business leading an NFL backfield. His backup, Salvon Ahmed, actually played better than him at Washington when they were at the same school. And it comes down to Gaskin in a perfect matchup against a team that's averaging 39.8 PPR points allowed per game to the running back position. That sounds pretty appetizing for a guy who every odd numbered week goes for at least double digits. He's not that great of a receiver out of the backfield, but teams every other week just seem to forget to cover him. So I'll take a couple wide open swing passes where nobody touches him for a touchdown. I just think that with his volume in that offense against a terrible, horrible, horrendous, just the worst running back defense in the history of the NFL right now.
Hold on. They're only giving up like 40 points per game, Bo.
Right.
I mean, if you're talking about Z-score, get down here to the Z-score on this one. The Buffalo Bills give up 17, so it's like 2 Z-scores. It's like double the Z-score for them. They've got that's not good. That's like 2.3 Z-scores. Oh,
it seems bad that they're 10 points clear of the second worst team. That seems bad. I think Salvon Ahmed down at the minimum 4,000 is a pretty good price too, because he's going to get 30 to 40% of those snaps, and he's a decent receiver himself. This whole backfield, including Jalen Waddle, this Dolphins team is going to score points. It's going to be up to the Jets with Flacco to keep up.
I like the Waddle call here. He is only 5,600. It doesn't make a lot of sense with his target volume. What do you think, Jordan? Is Waddle somebody who he's got 13.7%, say 15% ownership by the time it's settled. Is that somebody you're targeting?
No. So the Dolphins this year, this is like one of the first games in quite some time that they're favorited. And in these favorited games, they don't go into it with the game plan of let's throw the ball 40 times. Like you saw week 1, the Dolphins got a lead against the Patriots and then clicked the coast button and just trusted their defense. Their defense has been playing lights out as of late. The New York Jets don't really scare me. I will say Duke Johnson just got elevated for the Miami Dolphins this week, which is really annoying for like Myles Gaskin people. Like Gaskin isn't a good matchup, but their running back core, it would not surprise me if Duke Johnson's out there in the first third down. It just wouldn't. They're so bad. On the other side of things, I will point that like Elijah Moore is one of the cheaper receivers that I find myself getting to. Joe Flacco last year when playing threw a deep ball on 21% of throws, which is I think the 6th highest in the NFL or 6th highest rate in the NFL. Elijah Moore leads the Jets in deep routes, targets. They just haven't had anybody to really get it to him. He has shown the flashes, and we saw the Colts game. They finally got, he's a really good receiver. He just doesn't get the credit for it. I think Corey Davis is another player you could go to. Not a game I'm quarterback stacking, but definitely some correlation between these receivers and then the Dolphins, like better players. I think Gesicki as well.
Yeah. No, I like that. So I put a little 4 stack here. I'm going to go with your Elijah Moore. I like that. With is this too many, Bo? Should I get rid of one of these?
You only go.
Don't get too heavy on that game, Matt.
Who am I getting rid of here? No, I was going to do like a 2%. Who am I getting rid of? The tight end, the running back, the wide receiver. They're all kind of good options here.
I'll get rid of the tight end. Gesicki's 5,200.
No Gesicki. Sorry, you're out. Okay. This one here I like. I'm going to give myself 2%, 3%. Yeah, 2% here of Elijah Moore, Waddle, and Gaskin as a run back, and that's not terrible. I'm not heavily involved in that, but as a play. All right, let's jump over to the next not heavily involved in except let's build the stack right away. No. I like your hat, by the way. I'm not going to make any comments about your hat.
Biased, but I will say this is a fun game. I am not game stacking. We are going to pound the rock. I am talking we're going to
Run
be
every
looking
play.
like the Saints offense in early on in the season, and it's going to be cooler because our quarterback actually just puts his head down and runs. The only three players I've interested in is DJ Moore, Cam, and McCaffrey, but DJ Moore is not even like that.
No.
No, not even that intrigued. I have line or of consideration, I would say. I'm not.
But
locked
even
in yet.
the intrigue with Moore isn't what you think his ceiling is, because I think it really is capped with Cam behind center. The appealing part of DJ Moore is 5,900 for DJ Moore. Like, we're talking about one of the best yak receivers in the NFL. It only takes one of those yaks on a little slant route where Washington football team, they don't cover the slant or the out or the 9 or the post or the comeback. They don't cover anything well.
No. I mean, the thing with Matt Rule, he made comments this week. One, he said that PJ Walker might play a little bit, whatever. Not really concerned with that.
For what?
Exactly. The second thing he said was they wanted to go in and figure out what route tree Cam Newton is comfortable throwing. And last year in New England, I think it was like 63% of Cam Newton's throws came behind 10 yards down the field, aka slants. It's going to be a crosser. It's going to be screens, jet sweep type stuff. Like, the offense is going to be so dumbed down. But again, it's a way to get creative, and our offensive line's not good. But hey, go play smash mouth football. Offensive linemen love when it's like, hey, you just got to freaking physically
run
just
forward and hit a guy.
Yeah, like that's fun. I'm having fun.
Big guys don't like going backwards.
Oh, no, not at all. And they just, Adam Schefter just said that it's 50-50 Lamar plays. He's actually sick. It's not COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been sick all week.
Yeah. Okay. So that's disappointing. I love me some Lamar. Not playing him too heavily, but just in general. Shout out Lamar. Hope he gets better. Christian McCaffrey here. You talked about it off air before we started. He got 26 points last week. No 100-yard bonus, no touchdowns. That's remarkable.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, there was all week, a lot of the chatter has been that Cam Newton caps Christian McCaffrey's ceiling. So, me being me and the data and that nonsense, I posted earlier in the week. If you exclude Cam Newton's rookie year, because I know Ryan McDowell, fantastic person, you can include McCaffrey's rookie year because those numbers are so off base because the Oregon Duck, Jonathan Stewart, was the starter. Like, McCaffrey wasn't starting. He got 100 targets for us, but he wasn't starting. Excluding that, in 44, like when Cam Newton gets 20 points, so we're assuming Cam Newton getting a good rushing game, whatever, 44% of those games, McCaffrey also got 20 points. And 25% of those games, he got over 30.
That seems good.
His numbers get affected a little bit, but like this man's still he had a double bonus game. He had 53 against Seattle when Cam Newton had 25. Like, they're both capable of doing stuff.
This is music to my ears. I'm starting both of them in the class of the Beards and Bellies against this bearded man right here.
I'm starting Elijah Moore, so suck it.
I'm starting Cook, so you suck it back.
I mean, hey, there's, again, narratives are super fun. We're playing Ron Rivera. That's awesome. I love Ron. I hope nothing but the best for his career. This will be a fun one because, like, the whole thing of like, oh, does he know how to stop Cam Newton? Good luck stopping McCaffrey. How? Right. How do you do it? You can't. No. You can't. Like, this man can route anybody. Like, he can route corners. Yeah. Good luck with your rookie linebacker trying to guard him.
Jack Del Rio is in for some headaches. I hope they pan to him the whole game. He's over there fretting and shetting and, doing the Jack Del Rio macho man.
That's what I've been saying all week. People are either way high on Cam Newton or the way down. And I'm thinking that this Panthers team, as bad as they've looked in certain ways, it was all from the quarterback position. Like, we're talking about an offense that's already dumbed down. It's not a complex offense Joe Brady runs. It's basically get the ball to the athletes in space and make good decisions. And Sam Darnold made some really good decisions early on where he tucked and run and he used his athleticism. And then after that, he started making dumb decisions with his arm. Yeah. And that's where you fumble the ball and you throw the ball into traffic, or you throw it directly to defensive players that are nowhere near a guy that's in the route tree. We saw that in the last 4 games with Sam Darnold before he got hurt, quote unquote, found a chipped bone in his shoulder and on the 4th X-ray. So that this is the whole offense is predicated on very simply, we need a game manager at the very least, and Cam Newton is a game manager extraordinaire because he adds an element that you can't stop because he's a 6'5", 250-pound athletic freak who's a freight train in the open field running the ball. He doesn't need to throw bombs out there. He's going to be able to – your job is to get the ball to 22 and 2. Yeah. Basically, that's it.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, Sam Darnold didn't trust this O-line. This O-line wants to block for – like, Cam Newton's someone that, like, he – just energy. The defense feels it. The offense feels it. And, like, media is going to criticize him because the whole taking off the helmet, the on back, like, all that nonsense. I don't care. I know where that comes from, Cam, because, like, he just loves the game of football. And when the team buys in, it doesn't matter what's happening outside. It really doesn't. You saw it at Auburn. You saw it in Carolina. I think at Auburn, they actually released, like, halftime footage of your guys' national championship game. And Cam said something like, "Nah, we good. Like, we're fine." Like, he's like,
"There's no way we're losing this game. We got this."
Yeah, he's like,
"We're down 17 to nothing." Yeah, they were down 17 to nothing, and they're like, "Hey, we got to just keep doing what you're doing. We are not losing this game." And everybody, you could tell everybody was just like, "All right, let's
if Cam's saying it was whatever."
I will say the thing that's interesting is here in the Washington D.C. area, being on the radio, you hear the scuttlebutt, and what people were saying, fans were saying earlier in the season when Heineke was not beating Tom Brady, they were saying, "Sign Cam Newton. What are you doing, Ron Rivera? You've got Cam Newton right there." So I find it all intriguing that Ron Rivera could have signed Cam Newton. Not that that's an animus on Cam and they have a bad relationship or anything like that, but that was just something that was there for him as a play in making his team better. He didn't take it. Carolina's going to now do it against him. I like that narrative, and it plays into the pitifulness of Washington's management in general. They could have had Cam cheaper. Yeah, they could have had Cam cheaper. Maybe he wouldn't even have come, but good for him. I'm glad he's back in Carolina. And you know what? I do think he gets about 20 points. That's all I want from him. I want 20 points from him. I want 25 from McCaffrey. You give me 45 points against Bo, I'll be in it. That's all I need.
So you're gonna score 45 out of all 9 of your players. That sounds like what you're saying.
You're saying the rest of my players are going to score 0 points.
Well, no, I hope Tyreek Hill, the only guy we matched, is going to score lots.
Yeah. I think AJ Dillon is going to score lots. David Montgomery is going to score lots, and Christian McCaffrey, I think, is a bunch of people are going to score lots. Okay, so let's jump to another barn burner, hell of a running back matchup here. Let's go right to the backs. Nick Chubb or Swift? Who are you rostering more? They're both around the same rostership here: 10%, 12%, 13%. We'll start with you, Jordan.
For me, it's Nick Chubb by a mile. Like Swift got 39 touches last week. I don't trust that man can way back 22. I don't think he can. Like, he has been obviously injured. I'm not calling an injury by any means necessary. I just think the workload is going to be dialed back because, one, their backup running back showed they can do stuff. Like Jamar Jefferson, or is it? I think it's Jamar Jefferson, correct?
It's Jamar,
and then that guy, I can't say his name. You're not going to make me say it. Those two running backs can get the job done, and I just think that, like, workload wise, Tim Boyle starting, like, it's just it's just absolute nope. I'm playing Nick Chubb, and I'm not forgetting about it.
Yeah. Hey, Scott, who's playing Nick Chubb?
I don't know. Are you playing Nick Chubb?
I'm playing Nick Chubb in every single lineup I have.
No,
because I think he's going to go for 40.
No way.
Oh, Jamar is out this week. I forgot. Again, Jamal Williams is back then. It doesn't matter. I still believe that this offense won't give Swift the 38 touches. Nick Chubb is coming off of COVID. Obviously, it affects him, but it doesn't affect his getting beat up. Like, it's a bye week in a sense where he's not getting tackled by 250-pound men, 300-pound men. He's going to be healthy. Baker's literally injury report. Everything hurts.
Lions.
Is Baker alive? I thought he died last week. So
yeah. I mean, I think the only other player in this game that I have some interest in is DPJ, just because of how the Lions corners are against the deep ball, and like you only need one with him.
Right.
He's someone that can get that 40-yard touchdown. He runs a ton of routes with no Odell. But other than that, this game is just nope. We're playing those two
Nasty.
Nasty.
Play Nick Chubb and move on.
He has
Yeah,
a groin injury. I didn't know that he popped up in the injury report.
we'll see. I mean, everything's fluid. This is the thing. Things pop up, and then next thing you know, they're out. You know, a la our guy Marquise Brown. All right, let's jump to a game I think is fun. I like this game.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think it's a fun game because of George Kittle. George Kittle is back. I mean, not that he left, but I mean, he's fun, man. I like it when he's getting the ball. I like when he's scoring touchdowns 2 weeks in a row. Debo is fun too. So I think all of them make a weird, game that kind of sucks on the other side of the ball. Fun. I like that. I like Debo and Kittle. They're two good characters. What do you think about this matchup, Jordan? Either one of these guys in your GPP Millie Maker lineup, you're trying to win it all. You put these guys in there?
I mean, they're definitely
trade secrets.
They're definitely a part of it. Jeff Wilson is probably my preferred, and actually, on the other side of things, like if I am playing Kittle or Mr. Debo, I think for the running backs, I do like James Robinson. I know the 49ers beat down the Rams. They were up 14-0 in the first half or first 10 or not half, first 5 minutes of that game. And then they just coasted with their running game. Jacksonville has shown they can be competitive. And the way they do that is handing the ball to James Robinson. And Darrell Henderson averaged 6 yards a carry. There's been 4 or 5 running backs average over 5. I like this game as a mini stack with one of the James Robinson and a pass catcher for the 49ers, or just going and playing Jeff Wilson as a one-off and leaving everything else alone.
I'm going to double stack these running backs on a couple lineups and just see what they do there. Yeah, I like these guys at their projected price and also the rostership.
Yeah.
It's not high. People are not rostering them. There, or at least Wilson, yes, but not
Wilson's
James
the
Robinson.
chalkiest player on the board right now.
Yes, but not in a run back combo because of James Robinson. He has a low projected rostership. We'll go to him. We'll just see here. Yeah, he's at 2.3%.
That's a nice little button price for a great player against not a very good defense. People think the 49ers defense is good based on history, but they haven't been good against pretty much anybody. They get off to big leads through pretty good stellar play, but in the games where they're close, they don't show up in the metrics. They give up a lot of yardage.
Their corners can't tackle. They can defend a little bit when they're knowing the team's throwing the ball, but they can't tackle, and it's shown time and time again. I mean, this game is one of those weird ones. Trevor Lawrence is just confusing. The receivers for the Jaguars are one fun bunch to say the least.
Yeah,
what a mess.
They're just hey, you're a slot receiver, go play out wide. Hey, you're a gadget guy, go play full-time slot.
Yeah. Hey, Jamal Agnew, what did you do?
I love Jamal Agnew.
You're a kick returner in a corner? No, not anymore. You're a slash now.
Yeah. I love Jamal Agnew.
Dude, that dude can fly. That dude can absolutely fly.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's rostering him because Bateman and Gallup are here, Scott. Come on.
I know. I'm just saying. It's just
I agree that I like the dude. I just don't know if I'm going to play him because it's Jamal Agnew for 47.
Yeah,
Gallup.
I liked him. I like Agnew better. I like Agnew better down at 39, where he was for a couple weeks when I played him.
That's fun.
Hey, what about Dan Arnold, who is just making a resurgence here? I love it. Traded away from the Panthers. Ironically, they're kind of weird. It went down south even further. He's 13% rostered in this matchup. 4,100. What do you think? You guys like this?
13% too high. No, I'm not. He is good. Not playing him 13% up. If that was 2%, I'd consider it. But no, not doing it.
This is when everybody gets off the train, or they should, because it's about to go off of basically a bridge that took a stick of dynamite before. Because Dan Arnold was the most targeted receiver, basically because Trevor Lawrence was looking at a bunch of 5'8" guys that were running routes other than him. Dan Arnold's 6'5", Trevor Lawrence 6'6". He was looking down at all of his receivers by nearly a foot. Agnew's 5'7", J-Rob's 5'9", all these little guys running around and not really getting open. I mean, Chenault's 6'2", but he's not getting separation on the outside. He's not getting enough separation. He's not that kind of player. And
Playing
they kind of
5'11".
Yeah, it's just but I mean, you have a big, tall guy that's pretty athletic like Dan Arnold. That's why he's getting 7-8 targets. And the 49ers know that now. It's on tape now that Dan Arnold's pretty decent. Yeah. And this is not the spot to spend up on a guy who's going to be super popular just because he's been good the last couple of weeks. That's 13% of the field we know are chasing a lot of points.
Oh, yeah,
they only give up like 29 points per game or 29 yards per game. They've got 4 touchdowns, 10 points.
It's because their linebackers are really rangy and good in coverage.
Yeah, I'm not against every projection here, but I think that Dan Arnold, this is a Dawson Knox. I'm going Dawson Knox over Dan Arnold. That's just me. More upside, but I'm talking more GPPs anyway. But if you're a cash game, maybe you can do Dan Arnold. I'm not going to hate.
No, thank you.
Bo says no. All right. Anybody else in this game? George Kittle, 6,300 priced up, but
yes,
he's sexy.
That's not priced up though. Tight ends. If you're saying, hey, I want an elite tight end who has 25-point upside in a GPP, you have Kelsey at 71. Who it's still cheap for him and what he's capable of doing. What he just did last week without a touchdown is just bust that $7,000 price tag wide open. And like we're used to Kelsey at 8,000. We're used to Waller at 7,000. We're used to Kittle at 7,000. And Kittle at 63 and Kelsey at 71. Those are still values for GPP because you're only considering what they're capable of doing. You're not rostering those players just in case they get 15 points to get you along the way in the min cash board. Yeah, you're rostering these guys because they have the highest likelihood of hitting that ceiling that's going to pop you that tournament. And so 63 for Kittle is an extreme value, and he's going to be one of my most rostered tight ends because I'm going to try to find ways to fit that salary in.
Well, and he's at 5% projected rostership there.
Shut your mouth.
Optimal 10%.
Tom Brady was projecting at 5% last week, and look what happened. 27% is what he ended up at.
Just shut your mouth. All right. No, I like it. Any last words on this one, Jordan? Anything you wanted to throw in Bo's face? Are you going to throw
I like George Kittle. I like George Kittle. I'm just not sure I'm getting too much of him. It's one of those positions that's like a weird spot. I think it's like if I get to that high, I'm just going to go get Kelsey. I'll find a way. And if I don't, then I'll just say I'll find my 4K tight end. I've got a few guys.
Waller's 61, right?
Yeah, Waller I'd hate the Raiders.
Yeah, Waller's going to be chalk too. That's crazy.
We'll get to him in a few games for sure. Okay, let's jump over here to a game that nobody's going to be on, which is great. Which is good because no one likes these guys. Yeah, well, it is actually crazy if you look at both of these quarterbacks. They're under, if you add them up, under 6% roster. That's insane. But Aaron Rodgers at 7,000. Almost 60.
Have they watched the Vikings defense play?
If it was 6,900, I'd be like, oh my God, it's a sign from Jesus himself. But it's at 7,000, so I'll temper my expectations. Jordan, I'll lead in with you. Who are you rostering the most? Is it AJ Dillon, or AJ Dillon?
No, AJ Dillon's is a fun one. Again, I did point out
cash play.
James Robinson is someone that I like to get to. Like the uptick in touches isn't going to be there for AJ Dillon. Last game was where his touches are going to fall. This game, the Vikings are not a good run defense, which bodes well for him. But this is a game where it's a tough one. Dalvin Cook has been a lot of people have talked about what his historic numbers are. The Green Bay Packers defense with Joe Barry has been super impressive. They are playing the way the Chargers or the Rams played last year, which he was a part of that staff. He's groomed this defense. They lost Jair Alexander, and I was like, Jamar Chase had that huge game. I'm like, this is going to be fun. Number one receivers are going to go kill him. They literally went Mahomes, Kyler, Russ, and we're like, all three of these guys, 600 yards passing, 2 picks, nobody scored, or 1 touchdown. Mahomes had 4 yards of completion, and they couldn't run the ball. It was apparent. I'm not sure I'm really touching the Viking side of things. Yeah. Justin Jefferson is just one of those guys that is super elite. He's coming low owned, which is nice. But again, 8,100, 8,200.
It's pricey.
Well,
Super,
spend up
super hard.
$300 more and you get Devontae Adams.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's
he's coming back. I don't care. It's
Right.
Devontae Adams.
it. Don't matter. That's actually a green light for me because Pat P, even at 80, even at 100% of what he is now, he's going to get roasted by Adams.
Yeah.
And I wrote this in my article for cash games. Obviously, Devontae Adams is a cash play every single week.
Yeah.
He's going to get more than 15 targets in this game. There's just no way around it. Minnesota's secondary is trash. Like he's going to have who's your favorite boy over there in Minnesota? Bashaud Breeland.
Bashaud Breeland's a whipping boy for any NFL quarterback who wants to whip.
Guess I bet you a lot of money that Devontae Adams is going to be moved into motion to be set right in front of Bashaud Breeland on every stinking play. They're going to try to hide Breeland from Devontae Adams and not the other way around. Usually the offensive coordinator will try to hide the wide receiver that they want to target and try to match him up.
Right before the play.
Mike Zimmer is going to be like, all right, where can we hide Breeland?
Oh yeah, no. See, Devontae Adams as well. One of the things that, like, on the top of my head, I'm trying to think of what was his target share like. Oh no, sorry. Since 2018, I think he's had over 20 DraftKings points in every single game against the Vikings.
Oh, he fucks.
Yeah.
Every game.
Yeah.
Well, the Vikings secondary is traditionally better than it is today.
Yeah, like, they
96% advantage here. That's really
Is that good?
That might be good. That might be a good play. Jacoby Myers out. He did not do anything. So
they list Justin Jefferson as a super high advantage. They don't play one-on-one, so it's really fun.
Yeah.
They're gonna double the hell bracket the hell out of that game.
Right. This is I like the other side of that. And
but I will say the Vikings usually script the first like 10 plays fantastic. After that, they don't know what they're doing. But first 10 plays of the game, fantastic.
Way to go. Are you guys rolling with Rodgers here in a stack attack? I would stack Rodgers and AJ Dillon and Devontae Adams if you want to get like super leveragey and do something crazy. But what do you guys think? Is that too crazy in these stack attacks?
I'm not going to the running back who doesn't normally catch passes. He's done a little bit, but just not going crazy with it. Rodgers and Adams is totally fine for tournaments. I'm just not touching the running back with it because I want Rodgers to throw 4 TDs. If it ain't going to Dillon, that's going to be real bad.
I'm with you on that one.
It's for Dillon. They're not going to overload him. They want him for the home stretch when the weather really gets cold. They just lost Jones. They're going to temper everything. And this is such a big, we've just shown, such a huge passing advantage for Green Bay, who's finally got all their weapons in place other than Jones. So everybody's on the table here. MVS, he's basically only useful when the coverage gets blown completely, and Rodgers always finds him. Or it's a free play. Rodgers draws them off sides, throws a bomb to MVS. Those can always happen. Those lightning strikes are the only thing you can hope for from MVS on any given Sunday. But Devontae Adams is the play. Yeah. And if you have Aaron Rodgers stacked with an underpriced at 7,000, Aaron Rodgers stacked with the best receiver in football against a terrible, terrible secondary, where basically it's just going to come down to the Packers aren't going to want to screw around with the Vikings. They're not going to let the Vikings stay and hang around. And I think if they stick with the narrative that they're just going to pound A.J. Dillon, they're going to keep the Vikings too close for comfort because we know the Vikings passing attack can go off at any given moment.
We have people agreeing with Jordan. Coach Craig, shout out. Thanks for everybody's watching. Warren, Craig, everybody's jumping in there. Josh, appreciate y'all. Let's talk about the next game here. We talked about it 50-50 for Lamar to play. That doesn't sound good. This game might be a Chicago rout at this point. All you got to do is give it to David Montgomery. That's all you need. No Allen Robinson. Anybody else beside Montgomery? Are you guys messing with Cole Kmet? 3,400.
Mooney.
Yeah, I'll play Mooney or Kmet. I tweeted something today about 50% of the passing touchdowns the Ravens have given up are 40 yards or more.
Sounds like
leading the league.
Sounds like Mooney to me.
leading the league. I'm probably going to be playing a lot of the Chicago defense this weekend. I know they're underdogs at home, but the Dolphins just showed, hey, you blitz your safeties, you contain the edge, you win the game. I know they don't have Khalil Mack, but Eddie Jackson and I believe it's Tashawn Gibson are capable safeties of doing such things. And it really affected Lamar and Greg Roman. I'm interested to see what they do against the cover zero, because it's not like Lamar has to make a read. No, you just have to win in your coverage. You have to do the right thing, and they haven't been able to.
No Hollywood cripples this offense. Everybody's saying, Rashad Bateman season. Yeah, but also temper your expectations, because he hasn't been fully unleashed in this offense because Greg Roman simply doesn't trust rookies ever. He's never trusted rookies his entire career. This is going to be Greg Roman trying to outsmart and galaxy brain a team like the Bears, who you pretty much just got to beat them straight up. They're not overly talented on the defensive end. So you have to go after them with your talent. Sammy Watkins is a terrible football player at this stage in his career. I'm surprised he's stayed healthy this long, but when he's been on the field, he's been awful. Like, we're talking one of the worst players on the field at any given time that he's taking snaps. So it's going to have to be Bateman, and Mark Andrews is going to have a massive game. This is a smash spot for Mark Andrews, regardless of who the quarterback is, because that's going to be your hot read. If the Bears are going to be putting everybody on an island and sending the house, guess who's going to be right there at 10 yards, right at the sticks? Mark Andrews all day long. And it might not be any big plays, but he's going to get a ton of those 10-yard catches. And this game is going to be really low scoring. This is going to be, you're going to have to find your points where you can get them. It's just for DFS purposes. I just want the guys that are going to splash for me, like Mooney. Monty's obviously a solid cash play. I'm not touching him in tournaments, though, because this is just not a game where you're going to get too many huge plays. You're going to get a lot of, it's another 4 and punt, 3 and out, punt. It was an interception. Then they go 3 and out after the interception. Darn it, they couldn't take advantage of the interception.
A field goal bonanza.
Not even that.
I'll say this one thing, and tell me what you guys think about this. When you watch the game against Miami and they're doing the cover zero, why would you as a coach call a bunch of out routes? Why don't you run to the middle of the field? Like, I feel like all of the plays were to the outside, and they didn't even I know they're playing press coverage. I get that.
Yeah.
But why didn't they just go over the top with one of them? Why didn't they throw it deep on one of them? Why didn't they go, okay, you got 5 guys like that? Well, then instead of turning and then pushing out to the boundary, go to the middle of the field and set a wedge block up there with 2 guys crossers, and then have a guy come behind. I mean, it was just like, have you not played Madden before? So I'm not.
Or what they used to do in the 90s, because cover zero in the 46 and the Bear fronts was way more common in the 90s when people actually lined up in I formation and just ran ISO all day. You'd run a lot more cover zero off of those heavy fronts. And now it's like, with the passing and the spread so prevalent, the quarterbacks don't know what to do with cover zero. They're not moving their protections around enough, and they're not audibling to a route with a specific receiver that beats that blitz. If they recognize the mic or they can pick up which member is coming.
That's coaching, though.
No, but that's also watching the film. If you're a quarterback and you're not watching the tape, and your coach isn't saying, hey, if they show this look that they've showed all year long and they're bringing that free safety, or they're bringing that slot corner off the edge, we're running a tunnel screen behind it.
Right.
We're saying, hey, you can send that guy, but we're going to send somebody right in behind him, and you got nobody left to cover.
They didn't adapt. They didn't do quads. No. They didn't ISO.
The coaching and the quarterback intelligence is lacking across the league. There's a few great ones, and then after that, it's just like, it's embarrassing to watch. Like, you can see it on TV. Tony Romo's watching the game from the booth up there on CBS with Jim Nantz going, "Oh, looks like they're bringing the slot corner off the edge," and of course, nobody blocks the guy, and he's all of a sudden the quarterback is scrambling and fumbling and throwing picks.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's jump in here to the next game. We're almost done the slate walk, and then we got to build a Millie Maker lineup, and then get into the clash and get Jordan's perspective real quick. So let's talk about this game is just being bet up by the public. It was under, I think it was 48 maybe when it opened, or 49. It's been bet up over 50. This is now a +1 for the Raiders. They're home, by the way, against Cincinnati and Joe Burrow. What do you guys think about this game? Bo, what do you think?
It got bet up because of Jordan. What Jordan was putting on his YouTube videos, where he basically identified all the passing advantages in this game and the Dallas game, where there's so many big passing plays that are going to happen in this game because the back end secondary members and the receiving talent. It's a great mix for some fireworks. I mean, you can't ignore like even the Raiders down Henry Ruggs. They still have Darren Waller. They still have Zay Jones. They still have Bryan Edwards, who gets deep. He can't beat zone coverage to save his life. But if you have the Raiders sending blitzes, or you have the Bengals sending blitzes, Derek Carr, if he's not getting completely bombarded, where he's completely crouching down and coiling and shriveling into a shell, he gets rid of a deep ball against man coverage, and he's got some talent down there. This is Raiders team loves to throw the ball down the field, especially off play action. This Bengals secondary is bad. They get a good pass rush, but if it doesn't get home, they get exposed, and we've seen it all year long.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think about the Joe Burrow, Renfro, Jamar Chase, Darren Waller, TJ Uzama, huge game stack here? Well, what do you guys into this? You guys,
man, that's heavier than what my scale told me.
I know.
You know, I don't play two players in the same team. But unless if this was a 4 p.m. only, I could do it. GPPs I usually stick to a mini, or if I'm doing a game stack, it's one player from the other side. Renfro just doesn't have upside. It's like his best game is going to be 20. It's cool. That's fantastic. 5,800, kicking ass. But like if he doesn't score, that's at 13. Right. I really, really like Ozuma and Burrow stacks just because the Raiders have had some bad games to tight ends.
Third worst.
Yeah, like I don't mind doing a Darren Waller, Burrow, and T. Higgins stack. I think they're Jamar Chase. Like the two receivers that are viable are those. Not interested in Tyler Boyd. Keenan Allen couldn't really get it done against the Raiders. They actually went to their tight ends in that game a lot. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, Josh Jacobs is actually an interesting run back because when the Bengals are bad against the run, they are awful. I think I was pulling it up this week. They had for Z-score purposes on the season, when I cut down to like actual running backs getting touches, Cincinnati's the only team that's given up 3 weeks where a running back had over a 2 Z-score. I believe those running backs were, let me just pull it up real quick because I don't have it off the top of my head.
Well, and while you're looking at that, you mentioned Jamar Chase, and I do think the Raiders are going to shadow Jamar Chase with Casey Hayward, who's their only good corner. So I do think Jamar Chase has the potential, of course, to run that amazing 9 route. Joe Burrow throws a pretty deep ball. They're basically sharing the same brain. But I'm actually surprised that T. Higgins is picking up as much popularity as he is, because I thought I was being sneaky thinking T. Higgins was a better play this week, but apparently not, because everybody's saying, "Oh, Casey Hayward is great," and the rest of the DBs are not. So it's kind of, I guess it's not that surprising but I thought I was being sneaky because T. Higgins is going to be an amazing play. Uzoma, of course. I mean, 2 down weeks followed by a bye. You got a nice discount back down to 3,500 for him. Yeah. That's wonderful. $3,500 tight end with insane upside in a high octane offense against a bad secondary. That's what you dream about.
Oh yeah, no, the 3 running backs. It was Damian Harris getting 14 catches for 102 yards. Michael Carter 9 catches for 95, but then 15 carries, 77 in the touchdown. And Nick Chubb in week 9, 14 for 137 in Massacre. 2 TDs. Dalvin Cook had 22 against them. These running backs all caught passes. Josh Jacobs isn't a huge pass catcher, but he caught 5 passes last weekend. He doesn't really break slates in terms of like getting crazy usage. But again, I do like Josh Jacobs. I think he is a fine run back if you want to stack Burrow because, hey, Raiders can get up early. Bengals can come back. Like, game script can force a lot of the, usage of these players.
I like it. I'm building one of those Waller. T. Higgins is who I'll go with here.
This will be an interesting game for who wins, too. Because both of these teams have been so up and down all year.
No, agreed. Agreed.
These are two very inconsistent teams. They've been really good and really bad at both of them.
They have winning streaks. So weren't they both 5-1 at one point, and then they've lost 3 out of the last 4? I mean, not good. Not good. All right. Well, what about Arizona and Seattle? Speaking of not good, Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf and the whole lot did not look great. Of course, it's against Aaron Rodgers and one of the best teams in the NFL, but still not great. In his finger, middle finger, right? So hope you get better. All that kind of,
I don't. It had nothing to do with the middle finger. That Packers defense, just like Jordan said, played out of their mind in that game. Russell Wilson wasn't in sync, and all it takes against a good defense like that is to be out of sync, and you get shut out. That's exactly what happened. They couldn't get the running game going because all you have to do is shut down the run, and you force Russ to cook. Coming off of finger surgery, it doesn't work. And DK Metcalf throwing a little bitch fit on every route because he's getting covered. Like he's not that he's great at beating man because he's an absolute freak of nature, but he's not a savvy route runner in zone. That's what a lot of teams do to the Seahawks is they try to clamp down on those. It's a cover 2 shell, but they actually run shallower, and they'll run the deep safety on DK's side because he's got more vertical threat to him. But they'll sit that strong safety down in the box and just dare you to try to fit it into DK. And we know Lockett that he's streaky as they get, and it's just this isn't a good matchup for the Seahawks either because Arizona is getting all kinds of pressure on the quarterback, and the Seahawks line is terrible, guys. The Seahawks offensive line is so bad.
The big thing with Russell Wilson, like, one, he's not good in cold games. That's actually something that's been through his career. Last week was like 34 degrees, and he's coming off of thumb surgery. I think he'll be better this week. Like, I have interest in playing like DK and Tyler Lockett here and there. Nothing crazy, but they're not like super expensive. I actually just saw a report that Colt McCoy they're preparing as if Colt McCoy is going to be the starter. That's a 4:25 game. It's a really fun time period to me because that game's going to be pretty nuts. I'm excited for the 4 p.m. slate, but on the Cardinals side of things, I do like James Conner. He's playing like 90% of the routes.
Hey, Scott, who has James Conner?
yeah, I know, but you act like I don't have Christian McCaffrey. So I mean, temper.
Watch when Connor and McCaffrey score the same number of points, and I save $2,000 or $2,800.
Well, watch when Brandon Cooks goes monkey pool all over you. I mean, just watch it happen. It's fine.
You're relying on a guy who catches passes from Tyrod Taylor.
Hey, you know what? You're relying on Nico Collins, the same quarterback, to throw to your guy. So I mean,
I'm leveraging you. I knew you were going to play Cooks I saw right through you. That's why I knew I had to play Tyreek because it was the right thing to do. And of course, I had to leverage Cooks because I could have easily gone with a different receiver under 3,500 to fill in my roster.
Good. Yeah, lucky you. I'm glad you leveraged me.
Lucky you, right? I've been doing this all year to you.
I leveraged you, bro. Your Nico Collins was just throwing money in the trash. So.
You knew I was going to play Nico Collins.
No, I knew you were going to play trash. I play better players than you. So, that was good. I'm glad. It's okay. Hey, we can actually wait until tomorrow to see who wins. But then we can talk a lot. I got a bunch of memes and gifts if I win. And if I lose, I've got to figure as well. All right, let's get to the game, the prom night. This is when you wait all year for prom, your homecoming, whatever it is. You get to go and you get to just blow it all. What do you guys think about this game? The Dallas Cowboys visiting Kansas City. I think the Kansas City should be not favored. I think Dallas should be favored. I'm confused, but I know it's a home game.
Though. But you get the 3-point juice, and they're half-point dogs.
I know, but still, I'm not in. I mean, this Dallas.
Hey, I thought Oregon should have been favored today, and it could be one of those weekends where we just think that both teams should be favored.
I was wearing my jersey until the show started. But here's what happened to the Ducks today, and what happened when I put my jersey in front of the green screen. They disappeared.
The Ducks win. They did go to prom. They just ended up having a rough night at prom. They got
drunk at prom. They fell into the punch bowl after they tried to spike it, and they got arrested.
Yeah. Their mom was the chaperone, is what happened.
Killing joy. Well, this is the biggest game total of the year, I think, so far right now.
Yeah.
56 and a hook. I mean,
How is this game not more chalky, though? I'm looking at some pretty high ownership, like Gallup's the highest, but where's all the chalk that I was expecting? Is this another Brady and Evans? I mean, are we really blocking the chalk by playing and game stacking the highest total on the board all year?
I think that this game, someone not pointed out, but someone like said a tweet that I'm like, I hate that this is in my head because it like floats around. Like some stuff you read, it just like sticks in there.
yeah.
They're like, Dallas, the Chargers game, 55-point total or 53-point total, and Dallas went out there and said, all right, we're just gonna pound the rock. And I'm like, please God, no. So, I mean, I will
very
say
possible.
it makes so much sense because, like, I know Zeke's been banged up and blah blah blah, but it's a cold weather game.
He's dominating this year too.
He's not going to break off big runs. Who cares? It's
he doesn't need
4 yards, popping it. But again, this game is fantastic. The Michael Gallup, or sorry, Amari Cooper not being in the lineup is really interesting.
It's a great thing.
I mean, it just makes it so like, because okay, Gallup doesn't play a slot. If he goes in the slot, there's problems. CeeDee Lamb kind of maneuvers into the slot, but Cedric Wilson only plays a slot. If they go 3 wide, like they can't move CeeDee there. Like the movement is going to be a concern for me. I actually think for some reason that we see a little bit like a fun lineups with not lineups, but formations where Zeke and Pollard are out there and they like motion Pollard out wide so that CeeDee.
But that's what they did against the Chargers. That's exactly what they did to the Chargers. Is when they had to pass, they ran 21. Yeah, they ran 21 a lot against the Chargers because they were between the tackles, they were getting stuffed, but they found they ran to the off tackle and outside the tackles of Pollard, and there was no team speed up front for the Chargers. And this is the same kind of team. The Chiefs front seven is really tough. Like they have good pass rushers, but they don't have very good they don't have good gap integrity. We're seeing teams run on them that have good offensive lines. The teams that aren't able to run on them the last 3 weeks are just terrible offenses that are missing so many pieces. Like the last 3 opponents are laughable offenses.
Oh yeah, no, this is gonna be a fun game. Tyreek Hill's like Trayvon Diggs is. I hate the narrative of like when Trayvon Diggs gets beat, it's like, oh my God, look, this is the best corner in football. The dude just I don't care. He makes plays. He literally like
he's a wide receiver playing defense.
Like I don't care if Trayvon Diggs gets beat in coverage. The man has like 11 interceptions. He's giving the ball. It's absurd that people think that like he's not Darrelle Revis. I don't care that he's not.
No, he's
not. I don't need him to be.
He's never pretended to be a lockdown corner. He's the guy that gets you off the damn field.
Yeah, no, there was my brother coaches down here for a team, and I think it's like West Palm Beach. The head coach is a former fullback in the NFL. I think it's like not Leonard Weaver. Forgot who it is. Anyways, our family friend is he's the defense coordinator at that high school. He was at UF while Dan Quinn was there. Dan Quinn actually brought him onto their staff, allowed him to run practice, all that nonsense. Awesome. And he talked about Dan Quinn. And my brother's like, he's a Cowboys fan, so he's like, are we going to be good, or is this a really bad signing? He's like, the one thing that Dan Quinn does that not any defensive coordinator that he's been around does, like, and he's been around Manny Diaz and a few other guys. Dan Quinn takes his personnel, puts it on a board, and it's like, okay, what can we do? With Atlanta, ain't going to do much. With the Cowboys, it's like we have 7 pass rushers who should get 10 sacks a year. And then we have Michael Parsons, who's a freak athlete. Jalen Smith, no.
Bye.
Trayvon Diggs, he
yes,
gets beat, but just let him be a ball hawk. Who cares? And then DeMonte Casey, hard hitter, and these like rotational guys, and it's just like, let's play fast and let's cause turnovers. We're not stopping people. Who cares a shit? Like we're gonna go get enough turnovers, get Dak the ball enough, and
and he's looking at how can I get this defensive unit off the field and put our 40-point a game offense back on the freaking field, which they couldn't do all those years before when they had conservative defenses with terrible personnel. And that was basically the whole defense was terrible linebackers who were always hurt. DeMarcus Lawrence and a bunch of no-name DBs who couldn't cover anybody. And that was like 4 years straight of Dallas Cowboy football. And now they actually have some young talent. Micah Parsons again. My God, what a player. What a player. He could play any position on that defensive field right now as a rookie. You know how insane that is for a guy his size to run a 4.39 and show it on the football field and show the instincts and the tackling ability and the pass rushing skills. Like, where did this come from? This guy's an absolute animal. And then you combine that with Diggs, who's the reason why he's getting beat is because he's playing aggressive because his DC said, hey, go get the damn ball or die trying. If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah.
Trayvon Diggs gets the damn ball.
Yeah, the Kendrick Bourne highlight, that wasn't his fault. Casey should have intercepted that.
Casey missed the trajectory of that pass by 2 yards and then got popped for a DWI the next day. So explains a lot.
Hey. All right. We're going to jump here. We had a little trouble running the Sims. I'll hot hike it later and get that blue 42 where it should be. Let's talk here about our Occupy fantasy tool. We're going to build a Millie Maker winner with Jordan. We got to split it 3 ways now, which kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? Let's talk QB.
Ménage à trois, bitches.
Did it feel good for you?
My mom.
Don't tell me money doesn't buy happiness because I've never seen anybody frown on a jet ski.
It's true.
No. Well, that big fat guy from Tiger King 2 was pretty pissed off. His jet skiing, jet.
Scott, you would have watched the whole Tiger King 2. I haven't done it yet.
I know. I just watched the first episode, and then
you watched the whole thing. Don't lie.
I did.
You did.
He's sending Joe letters right now. As soon as the show's over, he's penning a letter to Joe Exotic.
I was out right when they were about to talk to Trump in the first episode. I was like, I'm gonna go finish watching Big Mouth season 5 for the second straight time. Second time through, so I did do that instead.
Can we build a Millie Maker already?
Let's do this. Who's our QB? On 3, 2, 1, rock, paper, scissors. Jordan and Bo, I just want you to name your QB. If it's different, it's fine, but let's just go. So 3, 2, 1, let's do it, right? So 3, 2, 1, QB.
Cam Newton.
Dak Prescott
and Cam Newton. Okay. So let's talk about let's look at rostership first.
Are we homering this? Because this is what it feels like.
Right? We picked our own guys.
It's a bunch of homers.
Wait, hold on. Is Dak projected less ownership? No, let's go Dak. Screw that. No, that's fine. I'm fine with that. I didn't know Dak was coming in lower owned.
He's coming over at 5.
Dak's coming at 5 and 6 is what I've seen.
Stupid, man.
Yeah. Well, let's look here.
How many 400-yard games does Dak have the last 3 years? A lot. Most in the NFL.
It's no, frustrating. I do believe that Dallas wants to go into this game and let's run the ball and play defense. Not play defense. Let's run the ball.
What if the Chiefs get out in front? What if the Chiefs get out?
Like I don't think the Chiefs that throw Mahomes made at the end of the Packers game was the energy he needed, and it's continued. Like the man is getting lucky, not lucky.
And the Raiders running cover 3 instead of the same defense that shut the Chiefs down completely for 3 weeks in a row. That was stupid. What are the Raiders thinking? Like, we're smarter than the teams that actually beat these Chiefs. Like, no, you're not. You're really not, because you gave up 5 touchdowns to the guy who was throwing picks on every play just a couple weeks ago against a defense that you're perfectly capable of running.
Yeah.
Like cover 3, Patrick Mahomes has seen cover 3 from the Raiders his entire career, and it hasn't ever ended well for the Raiders. What were they doing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jordan, you're with me on this one. That's like, it made no sense. I'm like, they're in cover 3. What are they doing? There goes Kelsey. Kelsey's just sitting down in the zone every single play.
Scott, wait, we got James Conner in here. I'm scared.
I'm just kidding. I'm waiting. Do we want to put in Kelsey? And do we want to do that? I mean, it's
no,
we can leave Tyreek. I mean, actually, I actually like running it back here with Kelsey over Tyreek Hill just because of the positional advantage Kelsey gives you.
Right.
Tyreek Hill is a receiver, which is totally cool, but like for CeeDee Lamb to be worth it, I think that makes it really interesting. Like Tyreek Hill 600 more. So if you have like 4 receivers who score 30, Tyreek Hill would have to score more than Adams. It'd also be like probably 40, 50, and that's just really, really tough for
that's a really tough ask.
Like, I just think Kelsey getting 30 or 25 is more likely.
Well, plus the narrative here is that you're saying Dak Prescott's going to be throwing 3 or 4 touchdowns, 300 plus easy. His touchdowns are going to go to Gallup and Lamb.
Yeah.
He might have an extra one to Schultz or whatever, Pollard out of the backfield, doesn't matter. But you're expecting touchdowns from Gallup and Lamb and Dak to go off for his salary. And so Kelsey, really the way that they're going to have to beat a primarily cover 3 and man-free team like the Cowboys is the Cowboys are going to go right back into that double cover 2 man scheme and just basically put the clamps on Tyreek Hill. They're going to have to – Tyreek Hill's going to have to beat the best coverage he's seen in a month to break out. And he's –
middle, right.
Well, Kelsey basically cross the linebackers and just sit down like he did last week against the Raiders, and we saw 10 for 119. And so I think I'll take that.
Yeah, and I mean, for like ownership purposes, the way I am playing, like if I'm playing a Dak stack and I'm going to get Tyreek Hill, I'm actually would not be playing CD. I would be going Dak or Gallup and Schultz and with Tyreek Hill, just because of the formatting of the lineup and how things would fit. It's a cheaper stack. CD's obviously a fucking stud. Like, no, don't get me wrong. But it's just that cheaper, like that cheapness allows me to go get McCaffrey comfortably and different things. Again, I this is my preference to stacking this game, especially with the ownership that I am seeing. So
did you see what he just did at running back?
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
No, it's right. I love it. I'm just saying
let's go get some value players. Let's all go to the lobby.
Okay, I mean, we could take him out if we want.
No, put him back.
There's enough.
There's plenty.
Okay.
You plug in a sub-3 defense and you're right back in business.
Yeah, no, let's go play the Bears defense. Let's do that. I'm fine with that. They're going to be super. Oh wow, yeah, 1% owned. Perfect. That's fantastic.
That's beautiful.
They're less owned than the Texans. Okay,
that's hilarious.
It's not going to be that way tomorrow if Lamar gets ruled out. But like, I actually hope Lamar plays. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, right. I hope he plays and gets sick and throws up on the field, and they got to take him out.
The dude's like, if he's legitimately sick, if he plays like IVs and all that nonsense, and again.
Stupid.
If he can't run or he's a little lethargic running the ball, that's not good for that offense.
No.
Especially not without Hollywood.
No. Let's talk about our second running back. I mean, we have some money. We can spend down at our flex if we need to. We've got another wide receiver position to fill. What are we thinking here with running back?
Obviously, with McCaffrey, we got to go. We're going to be going down. James Conner's so freaking owned. That's ridiculous. I'm looking at James Conner and Jeff Wilson's. Like, I would, in a Millie Maker lineup, I'm looking to be more contrarian. So, like, I don't mind if you want a piece with Dante Foreman. Like,
Foreman.
Like, him in that situation.
Positive game script. I'm telling you guys.
Wait, is McCaffrey more owned than Nick Chubb or less owned or less rostered?
They're about the same, about 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 13. Chubb might be a little higher.
13, and then Chubb is where's Chubb hiding at here?
12.9. They're the same. They're almost identical.
Yeah, they're literally identical. Like, I wouldn't see. This is where the fun game plays. Would you rather go McCaffrey and Foreman, or go from McCaffrey to Chubb and then bounce up to your 6K range, your James Connors, your AJ Dillon even.
He doesn't want to build my Clash of the Beards and Bellies lineup though, because it's if we do that, that's exactly what it's going to look like.
I don't mind it honestly, because you're looking for upside against McCaffrey.
Scott.
Yeah,
it's dependent. It's like this is where building the lineup is fun, where you can go and like, okay, I could play Nick Chubb and possibly I think it's like. The price difference from Nick Chubb to McCaffrey is $1,100.
Yep.
And Foreman to Connor is $1,200. So it's like, again, it's pretty close. Just up to your preference.
But what do you think? I'm going to give you the preference because
you know how I feel. I think Chubb is going to be the highest scoring player, non-quarterback on the slate.
Well, then I'm okay with moving to Chubb.
I mean, we can honestly keep Foreman and Chubb and just say, screw it, we're contrarian, and then give us some leverage or some leeway with the receiver a little bit.
Yeah, we could do that. And then, I mean, I don't mind that at all. Foreman's
mixing. It's a mix. Yeah.
Driving down our ownership for sure.
Oh yeah, we're trying to win a milli maker, sir. We're not trying to win a single entry.
I don't want to win $30. I want to win $100,000.
$1 million for nothing.
If this actually won the GPP and you said nothing, Scott, I would come to Maryland. I would be in there.
Yeah.
Up in that bitch.
I would haunt you.
I will. You better not run away because I'd find you.
I will.
My address is
I will
public.
Nancy Drew make a guy detective myself in there.
I have his address, so I
No,
can
you
find him.
motherfucker. All right. Who are we putting in here that's crazy? Like, is it Marcus Johnson?
No,
That was last week.
No,
That was last week. All
that
right.
was fun to do last weekend.
You
Alright,
know
so-
what I'm going to
yeah,
say.
Honestly,
Nico Collins. If you put Nico in there, I'm gonna jump
No,
in.
I mean, I would love to because that was kind of my dart throw this week. That's my punt
I mean,
receiver.
it's a mini stack. It's a little mini.
About T. Higgins.
T Higgins is cool. I just what are we left with? 3,300.
33. That's not
33.
much.
It's not.
That's Nico. Nico's 32.
It's not super. Trying to think.
Let's see who else is down there.
You got Higgins. If you want to go Amendola,
Gross.
Robinson's down there.
I mean, if
I
we
like
go,
Byron Pringle at 34.
I don't think we can afford him, can we?
33.
No, I'm just
If we
No.
go, okay, so with Higgins, if we go from, trying to think, Higgins. I mean, we could technically go Higgins to Mooney and get the 200 extra to go up
Ooh.
to.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, if we're
Mooney over
feeling-
Higgins.
yeah, if we go
Can we go-
Mooney,
We're gonna go Pringle with a run back at 3,400.
yeah, we could double technically stack Mahomes in
Is
that game. and just
Is that
pull-
annoying in that, Bo? What do you think?
Well, 5,300 is. Oh, I mean, 5,300 Emmanuel Sanders too. Against Indy. It's totally fine.
Oh,
get,
Indy.
get the Diggs ownership or rostership.
Leverage.
I'm just this is obviously very very fun.
This
Oh,
is gonna be.
He's
it's gonna be-
6% less rostered than the other two, so that's cool.
It's gonna be either really good or really bad. I love it. I love it.
I think
It's-
it has potential.
This is what building GPP lineups look like.
Yeah, you kind of have to, like we always say on the show. If it doesn't make you feel queasy, you're gonna win shit.
No, I usually like. Oh man, who was it? Oh, football team when the Chiefs were playing the football team.
Yeah.
In our Discord show, I was like, guys, I'm just gonna tell you right now, for 4-4, I'm like, hey, I'm 100%ing DeMarcus Robinson, and like the whole chat was like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? DeMarcus Robinson has 1 touchdown of the year, and he scored. He got 40 yards. He got to Mahomes didn't get there, so the Mahomes stack didn't really do too well because Mahomes just hates me and throws picks and drop back. Anyways, so when DeMarcus Robinson scored the next week, they're like, "Are we playing DeMarcus Robinson?" I'm like, "No, that's a one-time thing, sir. We're going somewhere else. We're not doing
It was
this
like
again."
it was like Marcus Johnson for me last week. Week 17 last year was Isaiah McKenzie, and everybody's like, "The fuck are you playing McKenzie for?" I was like, "Dude, I'm telling you, they're not playing anybody solid snaps except for the guys that have actual play packages built into their offense for." And McKenzie was the only guy left that was going to be playing that had play packages. I was like, they're just gonna play a bunch of gadget bullshit and blow out whatever team, the Dolphins or something, like week 17 last year. And McKenzie scored 2 touchdowns through the air and returned a punt for a touchdown to put icing on the cake, and had like 40 points on a min 3,000. So it's like, and of course, like those are the one-off dart throws. And if you nail them and you hit your more popular plays that you're keying in on all your rosters, that's how you win these things. You have your solid guys, and then you have your, well, I hope this goes well, but I'm gonna hold my breath. Then if it goes, it goes. Yeah.
Well, so here's how I do this, right? You guys get the Millie Maker. We'll chop that up. I put it in the $3 125, 1,000. And if I win that one, sorry, 1.2 million. I win that one, it's all mine. Ha 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 ha. See, there you go. Leverage folks.
I'm just gonna watch the replay and put it into a couple other tournaments
It's
too.
just
So
you
I'm gonna leverage you.
motherfucker.
I mean, I don't know
Who's
how
this guy tying with me.
this guy he every week he tries to build the Clash lineup to get one off right get one past me. How many times has that worked this year, Scott?
Yeah, it doesn't really work a lot. Unfortunately, you're a motherfucker. Let's just be honest here. Go ahead, bro, read yours, and then I want to get Jordan's thoughts. Read yours.
I gotta go full screen here. All right. I'm not that happy that I beat Simpson last week. We were both on the struggle bus with our lineups. I guess I only won because the sun set on his lineup 3 hours earlier on the East Coast. Don't get me wrong, I love taking my obligatory victory lap on social media, even if it's the DFS equivalent of an infield single looking like a line drive in the box score. Scott undoubtedly doesn't want me to go all Phil Jackson and watch the Hardy celebration that will accompany my second three-peat of the season, but he might not have a choice. My lineup is inevitable. With the snap of my finger on Tuesday, I built this lineup to aggressively chase a 200-point walloping to bring my series lead to 7-4. Sometimes I play it conservative, like last week, and needlessly sweat out a narrow margin. Come Sunday, my lineup will either launch into the stratosphere or you'll see me saluting as I go down with the sinking ship. Sharp bettors are slamming the former.
All right, Miss Former USA. Let's talk about your lineup here.
So Dak Prescott, I think he's the top quarterback for I have him as the highest ceiling quarterback. 400 yards, 3 touchdowns is on the table for him with all those weapons. I mean, minus Cooper, he's still got a half dozen guys behind him. James Conner, tons of volume, receiving included, leads the league in touchdowns. This Seattle front is terrible. We saw Kamara just put 40 burger on him a couple weeks ago. Myles Gaskin's a bad player, but every other week he plays a bad defense that refuses to cover him in the flats, and so this is that week where he goes off. Nico Collins is just that's my dart throw. He's been really consistent for a rookie, especially a rookie that's been what I thought was pretty unpolished, bad technique coming in. He's made a lot of strides. Then I went double stud at wide receiver with Hill and Lamb. That's where I had to go in Nico Collins because I spent a fortune on wide receiver other than him. Dalton Schultz finishes off the double stack. Just safe floor, touchdown upside. 4,600 and a great matchup. And Elijah Moore, he's the only show in town for the Jets. He's taken over as the alpha. Joe Flacco knows how to find an open receiver, and Elijah's been open all season long. And, of course, the football team defense, I do see a little bit of rust early on in this game for Cam. He's going to have his own fantasy day. But I think the Washington defense is cheap enough to force some turnovers, get a couple sacks, and make it worth it.
I like your roster. I'm not going to lie. It's not terrible. It's good. It's good. CeeDee Lamb in my face, have a taste. I've got him and Dalton Schultz, and I've got Michael, Gallup on my team here in the real life and the BFFs. All right, here's mine. Studs up. I cannot let myself lose to Bo 3 straight weeks, especially heading into Thanksgiving week. This week I loaded up my squad with studs who are projected to ball out, running over Bo with my 3 running back build. I'm absolutely thrilled to have CMC all to myself. A.J. Dillon as well. David Montgomery was weaponized against me last season. I'm excited to return the favor. This is going to be one of my best teams of the Clash. Hoping you bring your best lineup this week, Bo. And here's my lineup. I'm going Cam. I know that Jordan would love that. AJ Dillon and Cam for upside. 5,100 is just it's ridiculous. It's propaganda. That's all I can say. Hashtag CD Carter. That's some
PJ Walker season incoming.
Yeah, whatever. AJ Dillon, I think he does splash, get you 20. That's what I'm looking for in cash, right? I need that splash, the 20 points. Montgomery, I think, get you 18. That's all I need. Triple up. That's all I need.
So you mentioned Montgomery. You mentioned that I played Montgomery so much in the second half of last year because I was on him with that weak schedule. I think out of the 9 straight wins that I had at the end of last year against you, I had Monty in 5 or 6 of them.
Right. I want to bludgeon you with him. So that's totally revenge game for me. And then Bateman, I mean, listen, I hope he gets a healthy, pray to God, Jesus delivers him, Muhammad delivers him, Vishnu, anybody delivers my guy, Lamar. I got him in your league, Bo. And, anyway, I need Bateman to come through against. And I got Cooks. Then your guy also, Hill. Uzama is my guy that I'm putting in the tight end. I love that 3,500. GPP play for sure. I mean, it's GPP play. It's what it is. But I'm chasing upside. He either booms or busts, get you 20 or nothing. And then McCaffrey is my solid 20 points. And then I had nothing left. I had to go to the Lions. And the only thing I'm hoping here is that Nick Chubb falls down and fumbles 3 times or something. It's all I could do. So with this not being said, what do you think, Jordan? Who wins? What's the spread on this?
Well, for starters, how dare you?
From the
UN Summit for Mr. Bo for playing the Washington football team defense.
Hey, I built this well before I knew you were coming on the show.
All right, see, sir, this is the cat team is going to get after you. All right, my cat team is.
What's that bear? What's that bear doing?
Hey man, that bear learned how to catch last weekend. So that's all, man.
I think he's
like, I like this.
But Sir Purr is probably trying to step up his game after that hologram Panther took over.
It's really fun with your guys' 2 lineups because I like the mix. I forgot who's your receiver, Scott. I know Bo's got Elijah Moore. He's got the triple stack.
So I went with Bateman, Cooks, and then Tyreek Hill as well.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I like Scott's receivers over Bo, but then you like the running back, like Nick Chubb is so fucking good. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, I look at Nick Chubb against the Lions and I'm like,
no, he didn't put Nick Chubb in. That's the thing. He talked to me. He put Connor and Gaskin in.
I thought you said Nick Chubb was
every lineup. He said every lineup. He lied to you.
That's what it was. Gallup. I thought you had Gallup and Nick Chubb, and I thought your third receiver was Elijah Moore. So I was like, oh, you're both playing 3 running backs. Like, I know Gaskin and Connor up there. I like both Scott's running backs, but with CeeDee Lamb, that actually does change the lineup a little bit.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, it just makes it so if Dallas and KC lives up to the over/under, you're done. It's like if Vegas is right, Scott, this is not a good time because
Scott's gonna have a lot of he's gonna be looking at a lot of flames on my side.
You can look for Duke Johnson. Don't worry, Duke Johnson.
I'm hoping Duke Johnson.
Where's Duke?
Yeah,
where's Duke?
I'm telling, like,
boom or bust on this.
Is Myles Gaskin more talented than freaking Duke Johnson? I don't know. I hate this. I hate it. I hate the fact that the Dolphins had the chance.
Gaskin has nothing to do with talent because he doesn't have it.
They had the chance to draft Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Najee Harris. I just because obviously I am a Tua person. I am one of those people and still out there in the world.
One of those people.
They've done 0 right by him. The only thing they did right was getting him Waddle, and I mean Gesicki. Well, no, he was there before him. Gesicki and Waddle are really good. They're just they have 3 coordinators.
Their offensive line is terrible.
You guys heard about the quarterback coach that I think it was week 3. They stopped doing this at week 3 in the season, but they originally were like, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do this year. We have 2 offensive coordinators, but the plays get called to the quarterback's coach, who then gets to decide whether or not we're running that play or a different play. So you have 2 offensive coordinators who aren't calling the play.
And you only have 25 seconds before the headset shuts off.
I mean, the reality is like, I said it and I'm like, it would be interesting. And if this offseason and the legal issues and all that nonsense gets brought upon, that in a 3-team trade, Watson gets dealt to Miami, Tua goes to the Steelers, and the Texans get picks. And watching the Steelers try, like Mike Tomlin in an organization whose stability and culture and everything, be like, hey, we got Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Freiermuth, Najee Harris. Go play. Go have fun. Like, that's where
don't pull Roethlisberger.
You got all these boys.
Yeah, you're at Alabama again, and we got you a defense, buddy. He's like, Rodgers rumors are going to be spiraling with them, and that's cool. I think that Tomlin's like, we got to keep our guys on defense. We can't pay Rodgers. Like, that's a big thing to do.
Yeah, no, I love it. This was great, Jordan. We're done. We built the winner. I'm sensing that Bo has the edge, but what are we gonna do?
It's a really low. I have such a low floor.
Yeah,
because of how I built my team that I'm like I said in my write-up is just I'm either going to score 200 on you and you won't stand a chance, or it's not going to be close because you're going to score 120, 130, and I'm not going to be even close.
150. I'm putting 150 on my lineup.
Hey, Scott, I will say this: if you get a Chargers Cowboys game out of that Dallas game, you're killing though. You're gonna beat them by probably 200 points.
I hope. I like it, Coach Craig. You're the man. You can stick around. You want to host the show next week with us? You're welcome to come on anytime. If anybody votes for me, Bo, I gotta say you're lucky going into Thanksgiving last year. I whooped the pants off you on Thanksgiving week, so I'm going to beat you this week.
And that was Thanksgiving last year marked the end of your winning ways in 2020.
But not in 2021. This year I've actually won, 40%. So it's not too bad. I haven't relied on
Jordan. He needs your help more than ever.
Yeah, we'll see. I love it, Jordan. Where can people find you? By the way, if you're not listening to Bo and his bullshit, where can people look you up?
Jordan Vanek DFS on Twitter is where you'll see me Tuesdays with Dave and Mr. Ben Raza. We got some comedic relief, some good humor there. 4 for 4 if you're a subscriber. We have a Discord show tomorrow at 11 a.m. The Awesemo team, again, shows all week. It's fantastic. 4 for 4. TJ breaks down stuff. The man is featured on Yahoo and writes up some good articles for them as well. I do a weekly article that's partnered 4 for 4 with Yahoo. That's some GPP values. Their site has a lot of things you could take advantage of, and it's something to go check out.
I love 4 for 4. And then while we're here, this guy named Bo Berg time, big time, I don't know, something time. Where can we find you, my friend?
Right there, Bo_McBigTime on Twitter. I also have a food page on Twitter at HotboxBatch, which both of these pages have a link to BigTimeFlavor.co, home of deliciously intense solutions for the home chef, Big Time Flavor Co., the official punch in the mouth of fantasy football. Yeah, as promoted by Jordan Vanek, Matt Harmon, Field Yates, all these lovely people that have given me a platform for my food products, for my fantasy bullshit. All that I spew about football and food is because people seem to just love it. I still have to pinch myself every once in a while because it doesn't seem real that a year and a half ago I was a complete nobody in the football realm, and now this is all here. And so we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep building. We're going to keep winning cash on DraftKings and other apps like Yahoo and FanDuel. I still dabble on those just to feel something. I'm all about that action, boss. But yeah, check me out on Twitter. I'm quite active.
Sorry, I was eating some of your yummy, delicious hot box batch sauce. This is the hottest, yummiest, delicious thing. I will not eat anything else, just straight to the dome. This is great. And check out Jordan Vanek's hat, by the way. He's rocking it out down there. Put mine on as well. There we go.
Twinsies.
Hard to wear a cowboy hat and a hat. Might as well just throw on the UCF visor.
There you go.
I haven't worn it smells awful. I've worn that since a Halloween party. That's bad.
Big Time Flavor Co. merch, Hotbox Batch merch at ViridianGlobal.com. Lifestyle collection, got the whole gamut of merch for my product line. It's so cool, guys. Just to be sharing space with both of you and everybody that we've come across in the last year or so. Sky's the limit. We're all on an ascending trajectory, especially the math magician down here, Jordan.
Oh yeah, he's hot.
Whoa, sir.
Hansel's so hot right now.
FBI, open up.
So I do have to say, as I'm dying here on Bo's hot sauce, please follow both these guys, Jordan Vanek DFS on Twitter, Bo_McBigTime. You can find me at nimblewnumbers.com up against Bo in the clash of the Beards and Bellies. Also,
stonks.
Oh, so many stonks. You can do our nimble Patreon. Bo, this is what I wanted to say. I'm so grateful for the patrons. I wanted to do this. I wanted to give everybody who signs up a free month of December. So anybody who signs up now, for this month. It's going to be free. I was also thinking we could give our existing members the month off as well. I will pay you to do that. So whatever the cost is of the Patreon, I will make sure I send that to you directly as a Christmas thank you for the thousands of views, thousands of likes, thousands of tweets, thousands of content that you have done for me, man. You're the man. I love you, brother. So this month is on me and the patrons to sign up. Nibble W numbers. Check it out. Nibble Patreon. It should be either tweeted out today or tomorrow. And then also I'll let people know it's going to be free. You know, what can you do?
In honor of Thanksgiving, Bo, I'm pretty sure you remember this Thanksgiving very well.
Just look at the general. Look at the general's posture. How happy he is.
Poor guy.
I during this touchdown, because this is what not this one. I think Luke Kuechly's touchdown actually, where he stiff armed Tony Romo. My brother threw a remote at me and actually shattered. It was at my grandmother's house. Put a dent in her wall. Real.
Grandma's remote.
And the best part was I wasn't even being asked. Like I wasn't even trying. I was just like, wow, you guys. And he's like, that should be a like he said flagrant, I think was the word, just because he was so angry that he was crossing sports. He's like, you can't.
Oh no, honey.
Someone.
Oh
Luke
no,
Kuechly's
honey.
And I'm like,
he's
Luke
confused the
Kuechly.
sports.
It's for clock checking.
I'm like, Luke Kuechly. I mean, Romo shouldn't have gotten in the way, but Luke Kuechly.
He should have pulled a Phillip Rivers or even a Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, no, it was just it was a good day. It was a fun time.
Shout out Teddy business decisions.
Yeah, seriously, that was a great pull up last week. Way to go on that interception return.
I think this is the better look of it. If we hold on, let me take 1 second uploading it because I didn't think I was going to be talking about this. Yeah, this is a good look of it.
Oh, I like to see this.
Ready? Yeah, this is.
Ouch.
This is pretty much what the Thanksgiving looked like. For
5-minute major for boarding.
Oh man, good time.
Damn it, Romo.
Look, my head's in the play.
Yeah,
you look the Cheshire Cat.
My mouth's not though. Wait, Jeff Wilson. Yeah, we did talk about Jeff Wilson. I stunk.
Yeah.
This
22% ownership. Eat that chalk, baby.
Jeff Wilson's like somewhere along here. The stonks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can get a touchdown for nothing.
No, he's a touchdown vulture. So if chances are, if you give him 20 carries, he's going to score 7 or 8 touchdowns tomorrow.
I will say my guy Jeff Diamano, we were on the phone this week. He's a 49ers fan. Sorry for him, but it's okay. We send our thoughts and prayers. He mentioned he put this bad juju out in the air that Jeff Wilson was going to get like early stuff. They're going to get a lead, and then that fourth quarter is going to come around, and they're just going to plod 2 yards down the field with Trey Sermon and punt for the whole fourth quarter. So get ready for that nonsense.
I think Trey Sermon would be lucky to find a jersey hanging in his locker tomorrow.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
true.
I think this is all hot takes. I love it. Well, listen, please follow all these friends. Check out all their content. 444, Ball Blast, Nibble W Numbers, Awesomeo. All those people are amazing. I appreciate all you guys and what you do. Last parting words. I hope you guys have a great slate walk. I hope you guys win it all. And this is definitely, by now, the sexiest show in DFS with Mr. Jordan Vanek and Mr. Bowman Big Time. It has become that. So we'll see you guys next week. Peace.